Welcome back to another episode of your favorite podcast, the Becoming Relentless podcast. I am your host, Eleanor McCabe, and I am joined by the lovely
Cecily Wesh, Team Haley Coach.
And Danielle Kusenberger, Team Haley Coach.
And today we have a really special one, something that all three of us are super stoked for you guys. We're going to talk about improvement season mindset.
We all love this.
Oh, yes.
We have a lot
Especially
for you.
because all of us have just gone through a very long improvement, long improvement season.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like the most growth, well, not only physically, but mentally is in the improvement season.
I agree.
For sure. It really, I always think like the improvement season is what tests you to see if you're actually committed to the sport. Because in prep, like you got a plan laid out for you. All you got to do is execute. But in the improvement season, you still have a plan, but executing is harder for most because you have to balance life and executing.
Right. I think it's difficult for people to keep that relentless mindset through improvement season when they don't have a date, they don't have any shows on the horizon. It's just you have to push yourself to get better.
And you're not, generally you're not going to see as crazy progress. And I think that that's what really gets in people's heads, is not seeing weekly huge changes during the improvement season.
I agree big time. But you can't expect to see huge changes. And sometimes in the improvement season, you'll be improving a lot as far as pushing heavier weight, and then you might stall for a little bit. And that's completely normal. Yeah. So it's just making sure you keep on pushing.
Yeah.
I think, do you guys find that there's a period between coming off of a contest prep, post show, and then your improvement season? There's a time frame where you struggle mentally with that switch? Because I think that's where I struggle the most.
How
the
far
reverse.
out? Yeah. How far out from your show do you start struggling? Because I think it's different for everyone.
So going into a show, I'd say around the 8-week mark is when things get really, really hard. Coming off of a show, I'd say it's about the 8 to 12-week mark that things they start to get easier. Because that first 8 weeks post-show is a weird
transition.
I have a weird push-pull of wanting to be 100% on protocol, but then also knowing I'm entering improvement season, there's some flexibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that I agree. It's always around there. Yeah. But the transition phase, even in life, I say the same thing. Any transition phase that you're in is definitely weird and it takes time.
It's going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Especially if we're talking post-show, that's basically the reverse, which is the hardest part of competing in general. But I feel like that's a whole completely different, maybe mindset during a reverse versus the off season.
Deep into
Because when you're in an off season, I think, well, this really applies to any time, but especially in an off season, removing emotions from your progressions and what you're seeing and what you're doing. It's literally prep, just do it.
Always. Don't think, just do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the Nike.
Do you think that, why is there a reason, do you think that competitors get so in their heads, emotionally tied? Because we see we almost see I don't want to say it's instant gratification with prep, but you see those changes so quick week to week to week. And then improvement season, the changes are going in the opposite direction. And then we said, you might not even be seeing changes at all. Your strength might be going up, but you might not see lines. You might not see
physical changes.
Progress. Right.
Yeah. And I think that the reason people get in their heads so much about it is because they're comparing themselves to other people.
Yeah.
Ooh,
during
that's
the
a good
off-season.
point. Yeah.
I think that's when people really start to be I need to be bigger. I'm not as big as this person. Or this person weighs this much. I need to weigh this much. They're chasing quantifiable numbers in certain things when you should just be chasing being the best that you can be at that moment.
Yeah.
Dude, that's such a deep point. That is so important. And that even makes me think about myself, because I've done the exact thing that you're talking about, where I'm scrolling and I see an IFBB bikini pro who's my height, but maybe she's 10 pounds less than me. And I'm oh, she's in improvement season, but she weighs X, and I'm in improvement season and I weigh X. What am I doing wrong?
Personally, I think, if you can look really good and you're heavier in an off season and you look good. Dude, who cares what the scale says? You look amazing. Keep you got more muscle mass. Keep it going.
You got some density.
Yeah. Honestly, on stage, if you have density, man, you're in a great place.
Big muscle maturity and density.
Yeah, that's I love.
It's hard to beat that.
It's
Yeah.
hard because
Yeah.
you can get conditioned off that. If you get conditioned but are small, mostly in bikini, and I'm not talking about like every division, like density is hard to fight with. If someone has more muscle mass in bikini, like you're probably not going to place as high as her.
Right. And that density comes from having a proper long off season and
Yes.
doing the hard work.
Yeah. And I think that people also really struggle in off season because there isn't a lot of times a set date. Like people are always chasing, like I said, quantifiable things. They're always chasing a number or they're chasing a date. Don't chase a date, chase the physique. I think that we've heard that saying before. Like just turn it off, turn off the distractions, turn off like your emotions and just try to be the best that you can possibly be in that moment and just know that it's going to take time. Like there is no instant gratification when it comes to the off season. Like there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. You're probably going to have to go through mini cuts, health phases. There's a lot of different things that happen during an improvement season, and you kind of have to roll with the punches and roll with the seasons because it's not all just one thing, and progress isn't linear. It's going to like come up and down and shift and change, and you're going to have to pivot and adjust the plan.
I agree with that big time. Yeah, adjusting the plan, pivoting. That's huge.
Well, and I appreciate your perspective on this because I think you've had longer off seasons maybe than we have. Not in a bad way,
No.
you know, but like thinking back, I'm trying to remember when's the last time I had a proper off season, and to be honest, I don't think it's been since like 2018.
Yeah.
So taking this whole year off for me was a completely new experience. Whereas I think you guys have experienced more frequent off seasons. Maybe.
I've
Yeah.
been in a long off season.
I think it's good to take an off season
I
every
agree.
year. Go through your competing phase. Like if you're doing, some people do one show, some people do 5, some people do 10. Like do your plan, but like take your off season afterwards. Like make sure you and an off like I'm a long period of time off. Yeah, because the reverse phase is a phase within itself. However many weeks that is, like everyone's different, you know. Then you have your actual off season after that. So the reverse phase isn't just the off season phase. Like that's just the beginning part, entering the off season phase.
And I think that reverse phase, it's really important to continue the prep, like
The prep mindset.
right? The prep mindset, exactly. And then, how would you describe like the off-season mindset, still being relentless and chasing the best you every day, but incorporating flexibility? Because I know for me, like I used to be very all or nothing, and just realizing in an off season, it doesn't have to be that way. That was really hard. So how do you guys deal with that?
Seth helped me out big time with this. I'm gonna let her talk. She just having her in my life where she was like, dude, it's okay to eat that.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay to live. It's okay. Like you're not live.
Yeah, like in the improvement season, obviously you want to remain smart and you want to remain like mindful of your goals. But if you are so fixated on an all or nothing mindset, you're going to burn out, and you're going to burn out fast. So what you kind of want to do, in my opinion, is in the off season, you know, have good communication with your coach when you have things that come up or planned. Know, because I think every coach is different in their expectations in the improvement season as well. But I know personally for me with my athletes, I'm a little bit more flexible on certain things. So like if someone's on a meal plan and they have an event, like I want them to be able to go and enjoy the event, like because like we're in an improvement season, we can do that. We can have like some semblance of balance. So what we do is we talk about like making smart decisions, you know, maybe swapping out some macros, just communication, I think, with your coach and kind of talking about that is really helpful depending on who your coach is. And then also like when you're taking like, because I think a lot of people have untracked meals in their improvement season. Obviously, we don't want to be assholes and we don't want to eat like assholes, but don't be scared to fucking eat.
Yeah.
Eat.
Like it's okay to have more than 3 fries.
Yeah.
Like you can have the whole thing of fries, but you don't need to have fries, burger, milkshake, Ben and Jerry's, and a cookie.
Yeah.
Like, you know, keep it.
Well, I
meal.
think that people do that because they feel as though, oh, this is a free meal or this is an untracked meal. I don't know when my next one's going to be. But if you're in your improvement season, it's okay.
Yeah.
You can eat these free meals. Like, I think communication
They're
with your
there
coach is,
for a reason.
yeah, yeah.
And part of it is to make sure that you are able to keep your mindset and have in a way that's like it's okay to eat these things and still grow and still feel like I'm on plan and still progress.
And they're also added in for like recovery and like extra calories. Like your coach has an untracked meal in your plan a lot of times because they want you to be eating more than what you normally eat on a normal day.
Yeah. I think it's really important for people to understand that there's a difference between like going out and just forgetting all of your discipline, forgetting all of your structure and just going ham versus being smart, but like enjoying life and implementing that flexibility.
Yeah.
And like for me personally, moving here to Austin and being around you guys and seeing how you guys operate in your off seasons, it taught me a lot. Because when I first moved here, I was scared to order a salad at a restaurant. I was like,
I
oh my
remember
too.
that.
like I was
I
like,
was the
Justin's
same
right
way.
there. Like I don't have any free meals and like I'm on, like I was like, I already ate all my meals for the day. I can't order a salad. And it was like, no, I just order the dang salad. Like,
yeah, it's a salad.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're getting like it's one thing like it's put on like some dressing. Like you can get dressing on the side, you can do things that are make it macro friendly. Like
you can get chicken.
yeah,
in
I was
it.
the same way though.
Yeah. It was just weird because I was like, well, I've been disciplined for so long. I don't know how to eat out with my friends like a normal person.
Yeah.
So it's been really helpful to have you guys around, especially in this improvement season, because I think this is like the best my physique has ever looked, but it's also the most free that I've been with my food.
Dude, at
Which
one
is
point,
weird.
yeah. Well, at one point, it was a long time ago. It was when I first moved to Austin. I was in off season, so I was eating a lot of food, and I was at 485 carb, which is heaven. But I was eating wholesome, like only wholesome foods, hitting those macros. So I was constantly bloated. Dude, I would have 3 to 4 cups of rice before training every time. That is so bad for your digestion.
That's hard.
And I'm looking back, I'm like, dang, I could have
like
had
before
peanut butter
training, I would
jellies,
be so
Pop-Tarts.
sick.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, that's so much. Yeah, learned my lesson.
There's a balance. Yeah.
There is.
Yeah.
And I think that it takes time to learn it. Like you're like in your first improvement season, there's going to be little hiccups. There's going to be ups and downs. But like in time, just give it time and you'll find like what works for you.
Yeah, and you'll find what mindset you can work, like what works for you. Everyone's mindset's a little different, so you'll figure out what is best for you.
Yeah. Some people love the structure.
Yeah.
I know some people like Liz or Emily, they thrive off of that. They are more than happy to eat their meal plan every single day.
Yeah.
But if that's not you, like you don't have to feel bad about that.
Exactly. Don't feel like that makes you any less than of a competitor.
I will say too, the Olympians, like they're like the top. Every one of them has a different approach. Some of them completely don't do the reverse, or like Laura Lee just eats after the show. Some people some people just hit their meal plan, and some people have balance like we do. Like whatever works for you. Just find what works and like make sure that you just keep on progressing within your training and like making sure that your mindset's still on the goal.
Yeah.
Like how is it going to further your lifestyle or the longevity? Like I think that's what I was trying to say is you want to think about the longevity of the sport. So if the diet portion is where you struggle, how can you make it so that you're continuing to reach your goals, but also having that flexibility?
Yeah.
And like finding that balance, like you guys are saying, it's different for everybody.
Yeah. It's not a one size fits all. Kind of like how coaching isn't one size fits all. Like it's not a one size fits all for anything in this sport. Like everyone's a little bit different. Every kind of strategy is going to be different for each person. So learning what works for you, finding a coach that can help support you in that way and guide you, that's what's going to be really successful for you in your improvement season.
Yeah, I agree.
You'll see the most improvement when you're happy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That.
big.
Yes. Because if
love
you're that is a great point, Noah. If you're miserable doing what you're doing, you're probably not going to make a lot of progress. Like when you feel happy and you feel like supported and you're excited about what you're doing, I will say bodybuilding's monotonous as fuck.
Yeah.
But like if you can find some happiness in it and see what works for you, then that it's going to pay off tenfold.
I love that.
my little tangents.
Yes. No, I love it. I think it's super helpful. And I think that this episode is going to be especially helpful because a lot of competitors are transitioning into that growth season. They're going through their reverses, they're going to enter improvement season. And it's just important to keep in mind what is going to help you the best. How can you still cultivate relentlessness, but incorporate it into your life so that you're not miserable?
Yep, exactly.
I agree.
Sweet. Well, thank you guys. I love chatting about our improvement season mindset tips. These are awesome. I hope you guys got something out of this. Thank you for listening. And we will catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Have a great day. I hope y'all really enjoyed the podcast today, leaving it feeling more relentless than ever. But we have a few things that we would love to ask of you, so I'm going to give this over to Noah.
Thank you guys so much for listening. If you could, I know that this is your new favorite podcast. Please leave a 5-star rating and review. Leave any comments and questions below. And make sure that you're sharing across social media so that all of your friends get to listen to the greatest podcast on earth.
And if you have any questions about any topics that we talk about or anything at all, fitness, competing related, anything, we'll hit you back up Instagram or in the podcast under, if the comment box is there, then we will definitely answer your questions and help you out as best as we can.
Absolutely. So leave those 5-star reviews. Let us know, and we'll talk to y'all again soon.
Have a relentless day.
Bye.